Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we've got our Legion preview of Sabine Wren, the Operative, and she looks awesome. So I'm going to just jump right into this. Do want to remind you guys about the giveaway. I'm giving away the Star Wars Celebration exclusive Black Series Maul and Obi-Wan. That's running until the end of the month. Also, if you are a patron, make sure you check out the recent stuff for Patreon, because I just announced some giveaway winners over there, so definitely check that out as well. All right, so that being said, let's jump in and talk about Sabine. So again, they give us one of these. Now Sabine is one of these one of the first new types that have like various different ways that she can be built. You can have her with her helmet or without her helmet. You can have her with pistols, with the dark saber, jetpack. I love that they gave her the jetpack too. I think this is a really great step moving forward, and I started to think about this early on when they were doing Star Wars Rebels, how characters were getting different looks from season to season, and by having different components, this allows you, like, maybe FFG is designing a miniature for like The Mandalorian when that show comes out, and all of a sudden halfway through some character like gets a robotic arm, and they're like, oh, well, we already designed the character with a regular arm. Let's also add a robotic arm, so this way they can customize it if they want season 1 or season 2. And that's just a great way for them, I think, a way for them to future-proof their characters, is give them drastically different build options. And it's something they're doing for the Clone Wars too. So this is just great. This is gonna be so much fun, and I think that some people will probably want to build multiples, and so buy a couple of different Sabines. I think that's gonna be a fun thing to do. I personally am a big fan of the helmet option, so I will probably go with that. Probably also with the dark saber. Probably not unlike the way they have her built right here. This looks very, very cool. I will probably not always run her with the dark saber, but I think it is pretty sweet. So we're getting a couple different token types. We'll talk a little bit about those. Let's take a look at the Sabine card itself. We've already seen this, but I'm going to talk about it again just in case you haven't already seen it. She comes in at 125 points. She's an operative, so you're still going to have a commander also. But she's a super awesome operative. She's just really, really cool. And I think like she's built so well, you don't really have to have her with the darksaber. I just personally am a big fan of the darksaber. So she's got training, she's got 2 equipment, and she's got that whole weapon hardpoint thing as well. That's so she can equip the darksaber. She's got 2 black for her melee. She's got 3 a red, black, and a white for ranged. It's range 1 to 2, and it has Pierce 1. Pierce is just becoming more and more popular. I love Pierce. Speed 3, so she's super fast. That's because of that jetpack. She's got the best searches. She's got defensive search, offensive search to crit, and a red defense die. She's like almost like the perfect stats. Now to counter that, she only has 5 health, which is significantly lower for a character that's, as good as she is. So I think that's done deliberately. She's got courage value of only 2. I think that's also there for balance purposes. I think Sabine is actually pretty brave, but I think the courage value is probably more for balance, because she's probably going to get shot a lot and not... she's also a kid too. At least at this point, she's a child. So well, maybe not a child, but a very, very young adult. So still maybe a little more prone to fear. Now for her abilities, she's got jump 2. So she's got like Boba Fett has, right? Awesome jump 2. She got gunslinger, so she can attack 2 times. But unlike Han Solo, she got 3 dice instead of only 2. So maybe even better. Maybe even better than Han. She's got impervious, so even harder to kill than anybody ever before, right? Impervious with defensive surge and rent. She's just so hard to kill. Not harder to kill than anybody ever, but she's like right up there. And this is such a contrast for the Rebels too, because they almost all have those white t-shirt save dice. Here she is with red, defensive surge, and impervious. And on top of all of that, she's got nimble, so like that she can just dodge and just get rid of stuff. And it doesn't stop there, because when we look at some of her upgrades, you're going to see she's got even more defensive stuff. So she's going to be so hard to hit. Panic is actually going to be, I think, pretty likely with Sabine. I think you are going to want to take suppressive weapons and just make her run away. At speed 3, she actually has a risk of running off the table. So first off, she has the option for electro grapple line. This is Sabine only. It is an exhaust, but this is cool. We saw this when she was training with Kanan, right? Using some of her Mandalorian tech. This is an exhaust. This is an action. She can choose an enemy trooper unit at range 1 and in line of sight against 2 immobilize and 2 suppression. So you're giving out a bunch of different tokens here, but 2 immobilize is really, really strong. Again, especially against I would think even mirror matches, like against Luke, tying up Luke, he doesn't get, it's nasty, really nasty. A lot of the most threatening Imperial units are speed 1 anyway, but if she does this against maybe Death Troopers or something, that could be nasty as well. or snow troopers. They don't. I mean, they only need one immobilized. But imagine like now they're going to lose their free ability. You know, like a lot of potential here. Personal combat shield. This one is it's just nuts. It's even more. It's even more defense. It's overkill. Like this one is one I'm like, maybe you don't always need this one between dodge and impervious and all that stuff. But gain shielded one. So you're going to have a shield token and recharge one. So when you spend your shield tokens, what they're going to do is you're going to spend a shield token. It's going to add a block result. So it's not like converting something. It's just giving you an extra block, which it can even potentially stop crits. And I think that's a pretty big significance of the way shield tokens are going to work compared to dodge, because it's adding a block result to your roll. So that's significant. And recharge one. So if you do recover, you can flip this. So this one actually will work well with the grapple line, because you'll want to recover to flip your grapple line over. So you're going to get two things for a recover. And she's going to probably have so much suppression, you may end up recovering a little more than you expect to. So this might be a pretty good option. We do have the Dark Sabers, 5 black melee. Really nice. Impact 1 and Pierce 1. So she already has the Pierce 1 anyway on her range, so that's, I mean, it's good. But Impact 1 is good. But here's the thing, you're gaining Dauntless. Dauntless is just really, really good. If you're not panicked, you can gain a suppression to do a free move. I think this is going to be a really good for her, just because she is so defensive. People are going to be shooting suppressive stuff at her. And I think you're going to want a high courage commander. Like, I don't think I would want to run Sabine with a regular 2 commander. I think Sabine and Luke is going to be the way to go for me. That may be a little bit of a points sink, but I think Luke will work well, because 6, even though you're going to suppress the heck out of her, you might not get 6. That'll allow Dauntless to trigger, so they can both have swords too. It's going to be kind of cool. And also, this does give her immune to Pierce for melee, so this way she can now go to toe-to-toe with somebody like Darth Vader, and hopefully not get completely plastered. Although, honestly, with only 5 health, you're kind of rolling dice there. She's going to come with a copy of Endurance, which presumably, I think we've already established that this comes with Tauntauns as well. Tauntauns, and if it comes with Tauntauns, it probably is also coming with the Dewbacks, although I don't remember their spread off the top of my head. Let's just look at the card and pretty much guess what it comes with. But again, this is a nice option, because it's getting rid of suppression. And it's in addition to a normal end of activation removal. So that could be very useful. Might not always be the thing, though. If you're really looking at using things that are going to want her to recover, she may not really need this. And for her command cards, these are nice. And I think before we look at her command cards, I want to stress the fact that Sabine is an operative. She's not a commander. And from what we've seen, operatives tend to want to issue orders only to themselves. So it's not typical for an operative to be playing the role of commander. But that's what this 3-pip is actually doing. And it's great. So she is gaining Inspire 1. And also, whenever she issues an order to heroes, basically, she's going to gain an aim or a dodge token. And this can give her a lot of stuff. Now keep in mind, first off, she's giving an order to herself. So she's going to gain at least 1 aim or a dodge token anyway, because one of those has to be her. And then 2 troopers. So if she gives Luke or Chewie or a special forces a unit. And what this is telling, too. Because, wait, what's special forces? There's Mandalorians there. Basically, this is telling me we're going to get like Clan Wren or Clan Vizsla or something like that. Like, basically the good guy Mandalorian. I think we're going to get Mandalorian special forces. And that's kind of what this card is telling us, right? When she issues an order to a commander, an operative, or special forces unit, and what is she doing in the artwork? Issuing an order to a special forces unit of Mandalorians, right? Am I right? Let me know in the comments if you agree, or do you think that I'm just looking too much into it? But I'd love to look too much into it. That's what I do, right? So I think we're getting Mandalorians, and I think that's kind of becoming probably sooner rather than later. But then again, we do have Clone Wars coming, so maybe they'll wait until like the Clone Wars hype dies down, and that's, well, like, what's going to make us want to play Rebels again when we've got Clone Wars? How about Mandalorians? I mean, so that's what I think is coming. I think this is coming, and I think she'll be great when working with them. Our 2-pip, when she activates, she recovers. Again, what was I just talking about? Recover, right? Recover is going to be huge with her. During Sabine's activation, you may place a Graffiti token at range 1 and in line of sight of her touching a piece of non-area terrain. So she's going to spray something on, and this is just really cool. Honestly, this is really cool. So she's going to graffiti something. And now here's the thing. Those troops that can see they're in range 1 or 2 of the graffiti, they're going to get, and she already gains Inspire 1, right? Well, that's actually, I'm sorry, that's from this one. So she's doing some inspiring here. She doesn't gain Inspire 1 from this pip, but they're going to gain an extra die when they rally. That's awesome. That's really awesome. And if you think about it, Wookiees, too. Wookiees, I mean, I think they're going to gain an extra die of red die. So that's kind of also cool, although they probably don't need it as much. But that's really helpful. I think that's really helpful, especially with where I think we're seeing an increase in a lot of suppressive weapons, at least on the Imperial side. So I think this is just I think it's a solid command card. I don't think it's a must use. I think it's fun, and I think I'm all about fun gameplay. But I don't feel like this one is giving you that much. Does that make sense? I mean, let me know if you agree. Like, because sometimes, honestly, when you're adding operatives and commanders, sometimes you want to have some generic pips in there too, in case you do lose your commander, or for whatever reason, if you need to issue orders. And issuing orders is important. Like, you know, you don't want to always just have to pull from a pile and get a random number and not know what it is, because then you end up getting the wrong thing, and it could totally screw your game up. So sometimes, you know, when you're running, you know, operatives, and you know, I like to include an extra, you know, generic 2 or 3 pips sometimes for when I've just got to issue out a couple of orders and maybe my commander died. So this one, only issuing an order to her, might actually be really useful to swap this one out for your generic 2 pip or something like that. But I could be wrong, you know. I mean, we'll have to see. But I like. Now, explosions, I really like this one. I really like this one because this one's doing something different too. And again, Bosk has a very similar ability, but this one is giving her an ability for the rest of the game. And this is big. Now, I don't think it's a turn 1 play. I think it's like a turn 2 or turn 3 play, probably. But during the round this card is played, Sabine Wren gains Arm 2 Thermal Charge. So during the round, but she has to spend a full action. It's not a free action. That's a full-blown action. She's going to perform this action, but after she performs it, she may perform a Speed 1 move. So she's still kind of going to gain some action. So she sets 2 charges, and then she moves. And then she still has a whole nother action. Until the end of the game, Sabine Wren detonates 2 Thermal Charge. Do not discard this card from play. So you're going to set that card out there. So she drops 2 bombs. They each roll a red and a white, and they have Surge to crit, so they could even hurt vehicles too. Area attacks. It's going to be nice. That's just a fun thing to do. A reason I say it's not a turn 1 play is because, you know, she's probably not going to be in a good position to do it turn 1. And what you don't want is you don't want to play this card and then find out that she's just never in a good spot to drop the bombs, and then you wasted her chance. This would, however, be kind of cool if you were able to deploy her late or sneak her behind enemy lines, or, you know, if you honestly, you just want to be able to move her. Now at speed 3, she can get pretty much anywhere she needs to go fairly quickly. So, you know, it's just really good for, I mean, I love this ability. Like, I'll admit, I haven't been using Saboteurs as often, and I think they're great. I just haven't been using them very much lately, because you only have 3 special forces, and I really like the Wookiees, and like special forces is, for me, a very sought after slot. So the fact that she can kind of scratch that itch with this card makes me very happy, because now I'm free to run, like, if I want to run, you know, 2 Wookiees and a Pathfinder or something like that, or I want to run a sniper, a Wookiee, and a Pathfinder or something like that, I can do that and not have to feel like I'm totally giving up on my bombs. So yeah, she looks great. I can't wait to. She's going to be the challenge to paint, to do justice. Now, I do have a Mel Miniatures Sabine that I might compare it to, but you know, it's going to be. And when these do ship, and I think they're going to be. We'll probably have these next month. I think we'll have these in June. Sabine and Bosk. It's going to be fun. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Sabine, or answer some of my questions down in the comments section below. I think we're going to get Mandalorians. I think so. We'll see. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.